Are you a streamer and do you make money? You're trying to make it as a career? Maybe it's just a hobby? You come to the right place because you need to know how to do your taxes. All right. Now, I'm going to go over 7 different topics, and all of them are going to be in the end goal of teaching you how taxes work as a streamer. Okay. So this is what we're going to go over. We're going to go how to pay your taxes, whether you're on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook gaming. Okay. We're going to go over taxes for hobby streamers versus career streamers. Okay. We're also going to go over federal taxes and state taxes, both very similar. And then most importantly, we're going to go over deductions, your monitor, your mouse, your desk, the chair you're sitting in, the room that you're in, your rent bill for that, your internet, stuff like that can be deducted. And I will teach you what can, what can't, the percentages of it, etc. All right. So stay tuned. I'm making a full video for this. Hope it helps. Let's get it done. All right, guys. So the first thing that we're going to go over is, do streamers pay tax? Absolutely. Yes, they do. Whether you're on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook gaming, wherever you're streaming, if you're making money, it has to be taxed. Okay. That includes donations, bits, if you're on YouTube, super chats, whatever you're getting paid by, even donations, it's all considered income in the eyes of the IRS, which is taxable. So don't cut corners. So super important. You always want to do stuff legit when it has to do with the IRS or business. Don't cut corners. Super important. So yes, the answer is absolutely, streamers have to pay taxes. All right. So the next thing we're going to talk about is, how are you going to pay your taxes? Okay. So you first off have to figure out, are you a hobby streamer or a career streamer? Okay. And I'm going to give my opinion on this. Even if you're a hobby streamer, you should still have a business backing behind it because you're going to have more tax advantages. Anyway, you have to figure out if you're a hobby streamer or a career streamer. And basically, if you're running your stream like a business, then you're going to be considered a career streamer and you're going to be able to take more deductions and stuff like that. There's really no downsides to being in a business setting as a streamer. I have a full video about it. I'll put a link below or a card somewhere on the screen. I don't know what I'll do. We're going to go over what the IRS considers a career streamer first. Okay. So if you conduct yourself like a business, in their eyes, they're going to look at you like a business. So some examples of this would be if you have a business bank account, if you're, using QuickBooks or something like that to track your profits and losses, they like having stuff like that if they ever reach out for it. The goal of this is so the IRS will never mess with you. All right. I want everyone that's watching this video to be able to understand and comprehend and apply this stuff to their personal taxes, and save money, get the deductions that they deserve from stuff that they've spent money on, whether it's, like I said, their monitor or upgrading their PC, stuff like that. You can deduct that, but you need to be set up in a way that is feasible in the IRS's eyes. Okay. So anyway, got a little off topic there. If you stream to pay your bills, if you put energy and time into becoming profitable as a streamer, all that stuff in the IRS's eyes makes you look like a career streamer or like you're doing it as a business. Super important to know that. Now we'll go over what a hobby streamer is and what classifies you as a hobby streamer. Okay, so the 2 main differences with being a hobby streamer is, 1, you cannot deduct anything. So for example, the monitor, you can't deduct it. Say you made $500, $600 for the year and you spent, $5,000 on upgrades for your PC, you bought some desks, you bought whatever, you cannot deduct anything as of 2018. Okay, so that's a really, really important thing to remember. Another important thing to remember as a hobby streamer is you do not pay self-employment tax. Okay, so when you start a business, whatever you make, net income, will be hit with self-employment tax. Okay, because you're considered self-employed. Remember that is net income for the self-employment tax. It is not your gross. So your deductions are going to come way before your net income, and you're still most likely going to be able to deduct most of what you make based on what you reinvest back into your business. So now we're going to break down how federal taxes work. And because a hobby streamer basically doesn't really matter other than just filing for your income tax, we're going to focus mainly on being a career streamer because you're going to get taxed like a self-employed career streamer. So, and this is even if you have a job on the side. Okay. All right. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to go over a couple examples. Example 1 is going to be having a job and taking a profit while streaming. Second one is going to be having a job and taking a loss. And the third one is going to be solely content creation with profit. Okay. So the first example, you made $5,000, right? You spent $2,500 on, your desk, your monitor, your stream PC, whatever it is. So that extra $2,500 is going to be added onto your initial income. So say you make $60,000, it's now $62,500. The second example is going to be, say you made $5,000, but you spent $10,000. You just got reinvigorated this year. You really wanted to make your streaming content take off. And so you took a $5,000 loss, which it's an investment. It's not a huge loss in the grand scheme of things. But also now that 60,000 minus the 5,000 of the loss is now 55,000. And that just might lower you to the next tax bracket, which means you're going to get taxed less and more money is going to stay in your pocket, which is a huge, huge deal. I'm going to place the 2020 federal tax rate for the US right here. You're streaming, okay? You made $250K from streaming and you spent $25K on, upgrades, internet, all this stuff combined. You spent $25K that year. So you would pay taxes on $225,000. Most likely, if you're making that much kind of money, you're not going to have a job on the side. You're going to be just streaming, just being a content creator, and you would be taxed on $225,000. Okay, so that's like 3 different examples of how the taxes would work with after deductions and stuff. Now let's actually move to the deductions, what you can deduct, what you can't, what you can partially deduct, and we'll wrap this video up with some extra points at the end that I think are important to remember. All right, so my personal favorite part about this video is the meat and bones, the deductions, man. Okay, or woman. The deductions are going to be a big factor in offsetting your income, and legitimately because they're actual costs to run your business. So for example, I've got 3 monitors in front of me, 2 of which I bought this year. So these 2 monitors are going to be coming off of my income from this year. I've got lights, I got a camera, I've got 2 PCs. I upgraded that PC this year. The upgrade cost me $1,200. That $1,200 is being deducted from the overall amount of money I made as a streamer. Okay, so deductions are a big deal. That means you don't get taxed on that amount. And it's super important to understand how this works. I think it's pretty straightforward. If you bought something, you deduct it. If it's something like internet, okay, unless you use your internet only for streaming, then you cannot use the full deduction from what you pay every single month. Okay. For example, I had an office that I only did streaming from. I had internet there, I had Sparklet's water, and I had to pay rent. All 3 of those 100% deductions because I used it for nothing but streaming. Okay. Now that I've moved, now that I stream from my home again, I take the square footage of this room that I'm in, and you will take, I forget what, there's a fixed rate for this, but you will take a fixed rate. It's going to be, I'll put it somewhere. Okay. Internet. I would say a good idea is to see how many hours a week you stream and, verse that with how often you're at home or how often you're awake. And I would say a good rule of thumb is probably 50-50. It's better to be on the conservative side just to be safe. And that's going to be what's called a partial deduction. So say you spend, $100 a month on internet, right? That's $1,200 a year. You're going to take $600 of that as a deduction. Another thing I want to go over is commissioned work. So for example, say you hire somebody to edit your YouTube videos, or you hired someone to make you some emotes or an overlay for your screen. All that stuff is 100% deductible. Another thing that's deductible is, say, like for example, I used Adobe Premiere Pro to make my videos. I pay money for that each month and I'm subscribed to that. I don't use it for anything but content creation, so I take that full amount in deduction each year. But if you were to get that and you used it for something else, like making, Instagram posts for your personal Instagram profile that has nothing to do with your business, then you want to figure out what percentage you're using these programs for your business or streaming or content creation versus personal use. So a good rule of thumb with anything related to taxes and deductions is if you're using it for business, it's deducted for your business. If you're using it for personal use, it's not eligible for a deduction. If you're using it for both, You need to figure out what percentage of business you're using it for and use that percentage as your deduction. Okay, very important. Never get yourself into bad hairy water. And a good way to track this stuff is with something like QuickBooks. I use QuickBooks for my profits and losses. I'm able to import my data from QuickBooks straight to TurboTax. I do my own taxes and everything too. A couple good important things to know is these big companies like Twitch, YouTube, Facebook Gaming, stuff like that, they do report their finances to the IRS. So if you're sent something in the mail, for example, like a 1099, you have to file it or you're going to get penalized on it in the next year. Okay, so don't try to skip out on anything. Just always do your stuff legit when it comes to business. Never cut corners. Just do it the right way. Sometimes it's a pain. Sometimes you pay a little extra money, but it's gonna save you from a lot of headache, and it's gonna keep you on the straight and narrow when it comes to having a good business mind. Another good rule of thumb, at least for Twitch, is Twitch should send you a 1099 if you make more than $600, no matter what, whether you're a hobby streamer or career streamer. Twitch doesn't know anything about that. They don't know if you have a business set up. They don't know anything. But they should send you a 1099 after you've made $600 for that year. Even if you make under $600, you still need to report it as income. Just keep in mind, donations are still counted as income. Even if Twitch doesn't send you what you have, you should be keeping track, in PayPal or whatever you're accepting donations from while you're streaming. You need to keep track of what you're making because it is still considered income, and you don't want some weird, silly tax thing to fall down on you and you end up paying a ton of money or penalties. Keep in mind, if you're not set up in a business fashion, you have the chance of the IRS not viewing you that way, and you don't want that to happen if you're deducting this stuff. So having a business bank account and a DBA completely obliterates the chance of that happening. You are 100% going to be viewed in the eyes of the IRS as a business. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up this video. I hope this helps somebody. I know that my last video about how to open up a business bank account and file a DBA so you're a legitimate business helped a lot of people. I hope this one helps out as well. I think my next video is going to be about how to monetize yourself as a content creator, with Amazon affiliate links, Twitch revenue, YouTube, ad revenue, stuff like that. If that would be helpful for you, let me know in the comments below. I'll pin a comment about it, and that might be my next video, probably next week. So anyway, guys, I stream Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. usually on Twitch. So if you're into that sort of thing, if you like Twitch, come check out the stream, help support. I do this full time, and it would mean the world to me. Love you guys. Thank you for watching. Stay savage, and peace.
Sometimes it's hard to keep my head up, but I still try. I get so fed up. Sometimes it's hard to keep my head up. I get so fed up. Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to keep